And I think it's possible. I think it's, you know, it's one of those things where, you know, I use a cell phone all the time. Most people do. I use an earpiece now, as Dale Cochran talked about. But I think it's one of those things where you recognize that this is it's a non-ionizing, microwave-producing device that we carry around with us all the time. And I think for the most part, most people watching who use a cell phone are going to be just fine. But there is a concern out there, and I think people need to be careful.
Dr. Black, from the place where Johnny's tumor was that at a place where it might be near where a cell phone would operate by the ear?
Yes, and again, you know, although there hasn't been any definitive studies, there have been some studies to show a correlation between the side that you use a cell phone on and the side
left side you're going to get on the left
side that you develop a brain tumor on. But and that's been one of the red flags that has raised concerns among people that are looking into this, whether there is a correlation, because you know, we see tumors developing in the location, close to the location that people do use cell phones.
Now, I'm told that, I'm not an expert on this, so I'm going to read this. Cell phones operate with radio frequencies, RF, it's a form of energy. What's known about the impact of RF on human tissue?
Well, you know, there's ionizing radiation and there's non-ionizing radiation. Cell phones give off non-ionizing radiation. Ionizing is like the X-rays and things like that. And I think pretty much everyone knows if you are doing X-rays all the time, that's not good. Non-ionizing is less problematic, I think, than ionizing. One of the bigger concerns, though, I think, is the fact that it just generates a lot of heat, or generates heat, and you're putting a heat source essentially close to your brain for, you know, again, long periods of time, depending on how long you use it.
You use cell phones, Dana?
Yes, I use cell phone. Yes.
On a regular basis?
On a regular basis, yes.
Dr. Black? I said Dana, it's Dale.
I use a cell phone, but I always use an earpiece. You know, it's the antenna for the cell phone is the source of the microwave energy. And as Dr. Gupta said, you know, that energy is directly proportional, actually, to the square of how close you hold it to your brain. So, you know, I think the safe practice is to use an earpiece so that you keep the microwave antenna.
So are you going to instruct the patient?
I've instructed Dale and anyone who will listen that the safe practice is to use an earpiece.